Hello, I'm Mike, and in this video, I'll show you how to visually scrape any website by pointing and clicking and teaching an AI rather than HTML parsing or complex coding or even regex. Let's take a look at this app called Task Magic. Now, usually it's available to pay per month, and usually you'll need to spend $49 a month to get access to absolutely everything. But if you act fast and head over to AppSumo using the link down below, you can get a lifetime deal on this app for the next 5 days only and scrape to your heart's content. Let's dive in. First and foremost, I've got a lifetime access to Task Magic, so I'm just going to activate it now. Now that I've done that bit on AppSumo, I can just make my account, and it looks like we're all set. The first thing I'm going to do is go to my profile and switch to dark mode. Right, with that done, I'm going to head to Download Desktop App and grab this app for my Mac. It's as simple as that, and as you can see from the screenshot here, I just need to drag Task Magic into my Applications folder. And there we go, now it's initializing. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a new workspace. I'll call this one Creator Magic. For our first automation, we'll go to Product Hunt and get the top products launching today. So it's easy to get started. Once you've made the workspace, create your browser automation, and we'll call this one Product Hunt, and then save. Now we'll start the recording. Initially, you're going to have to wait a few seconds while it fires up a browser. And now that's done, it's asking me for a starting URL, so the Product Hunt URL will go there. Now, look at this. We've got a bunch of web tools, such as clicking, typing, text prompts, scraping a list, single elements, hovering, key pressing, scroll down, apps, pretty much anything you can imagine doing on a website, you can do right here. And now it'll fire up columns down here in the bottom of your web browser, and you will be allowed to populate them by simply clicking elements on the website. You'll see they get nicely highlighted by a green box. So I'll click the product name, and then we'll click another product name, and now Task Magic intuitively knows to pull the products in. And now in order to get the URLs of all those products, we simply click the 3 dots, duplicate the column, and then we change with the 3 dots on column B to be scrape links. Now we've got a list of products and links, and we can click confirm. And now you'll see Task Magic lays this out simply. Step 1, go to producthunt.com. Step 2, get the list of products. Step 3, get the links to the products. So I'm happy with this. I'll click I'm done. Okay, it was as easy as that to scrape our first website. Let's see if we can get that data into something that's useful. I'm now going to click up here, export scrape data, and then it'll tell us where do we want to send the data. Now we can use something advanced like a webhook to send it to another automation tool we're using, or we can simply pop it all into a Google Sheet. I'll click that one. First, I'll create this Task Magic Product Hunt Google Sheet, and then I will share it with Task Magic, like so. With that done, I now copy the link, paste it in over here, select Sheet 1, and you'll see here it's telling me to put headers in before it can export the data. So we'll do that, product, link, and then we'll freeze the first row, and now we can check again. These are indeed the correct headers, so we'll click looks good. Okay, we've created our first web scraping automation. Let's run it for the first time, connected to our Google Sheet. Up here, I'll click Run Now from the desktop, and you'll see it's autonomously looking at Product Hunt, and boom, there we go. All today's launches on Product Hunt with links to their Product Hunt pages, now listed thanks to Task Magic. Okay, that's cool, so let's try something a little more advanced. This time I want to go to GitHub Trending and get trending projects to see if I can use them in some way and get even more data than I got before. So let's copy this URL up here. Back to Task Magic Desktop, we'll create a browser automation and call it GitHub Trending. Now we can start the recording again. Once the browser is ready, we paste in the GitHub URL. And again, I'm going to scrape a list from this website. Now you'll see we get that beautiful green box again. We'll select exactly what we need, so the repo name. And here you'll see the repos are appearing down there. So now we'll duplicate this column and we'll change it from names to links. There we go, perfectly pulling in the repo and the link. Then we'll go ahead and add columns for the description, total amount of stars, and a final column that will grab the stars this week on the repo, and we'll confirm this. Now with this automation created, we'll click Run Now. And there we go, you can see GitHub Trending has now completed. And boom, look at this. Now we've got the repo name all here nicely, the link to each repo, a big description, which is available here, total number of stars on the repo, and the amount it's grown this week. Paste in a clever formula that AI helped me determine, and of course, autofill it to the rest. And then we'll convert these inside format, number to percentage, and we can see the percentage that each repo grew by this week, with Agentic Seek having a bit of a moment with 239.12% growth. Once you use Task Magic to get the data into a Google Sheet, the possibilities of what you can do with it are endless. And that leads me on to my third and final use case for this beautiful web scraping tool that can help you 10x your business. Let's go ahead and make this product hunt automation even more powerful for new products listed. We've got the name and the link, but now I can add a step here and I can choose to go to a page. Now, for this, we can use variables in the workflow already, so I'll choose step 3's link. That means every time it finds a new product with a link on Product Hunt, it will visit the Product Hunt page. And for the final step, step 5 here, we're simply going to record another action. And you'll see it absolutely has visited the first product listed. So we'll add a final step after visiting the page, and we'll scrape single, and that will simply be the Visit Website button here. We'll click that, and of course, we make sure we change that into scrape link, and it grabs the exact link of the product. Click confirm, click I'm done, and now we've suddenly got a 5-step automation that goes to Product Hunt, gets all the latest launches and links, goes to each product individually, and gets the link to the website. Now, why is this powerful? Well, we can take it a step further than that and actually reach out to owners of new products that are launching on Product Hunt. I'm simply going to export the scrape data, and this time, instead of going to Google Sheets, we'll go to a webhook. This is where I get to enter a webhook, meaning I can connect Task Magic to any automation tool. So for example, in Zapier, I could create a zap, and the trigger would be a webhook. We simply copy this webhook, paste that into Task Magic. Now we simply need to add something to the payload. So for this, we'll do product, and select value in step 2, link, that's the value from step 3, and website, and that'll be the value from step 5. Click save, and we'll click run now. Now that we've set it running, test the trigger. And boom, look at that. We've got a record in here with the product name, the link on Product Hunt, and the website, of course, which is the most important thing. Let's continue. And for this step, we're going to add an app called Hunter, which hunts for email addresses. As the action event, we'll select Find Email, sign into my account. Now here for the domain or company, we'll map this to the website. Once this is all mapped up to find an email address, we click Test the Step. Now we can add a final step and connect it to the Google Sheet we used earlier in Task Magic. We'll update the spreadsheet row inside my Task Magic Product Hunt worksheet, and we'll make sure the row maps to the website name. Continue and test. And as if by magic, yes, the email has been inserted into the corresponding row. And of course, now Task Magic can loop over and keep sending new products as they're released on Product Hunt to my automation, which will go out to Hunter and find the email addresses. So I get a spreadsheet populated with product name, Product Hunt link, website, and email address direct to the founder of the product in a few simple steps. This is all part of the Task Magic offerings for $49 per month. But if you're lucky enough to watch this video close to release, definitely click the link down below because you'll get a lifetime deal thanks to AppSumo. Let me know how you get on in the comments down below as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and YouTube is showing a video on your screen right now you should watch next. Thanks.